Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. It's tippy tip, kind of tippy tip day because I'm still working on these ones from Kelly. We got 2 more weeks of these to go, this week and next week, and then hopefully back to. When I say normal tips, I mean tips that you send me. What Kelly's done is she's sent me a list of questions that she's kind of fed up with seeing, and she's asking me if I can answer them to stop them being asked once and for all. And as I said, the 15 to 20 of you that actually watch this, I don't think we've got much chance of stopping them being answered on the World Wide Web. But we'll give it a shot for the 15 or 20 of you that are actually watching. So what I've done is I've got 37. I've got the numbers in a glass bowl here. I'm just randomly picking out numbers each week, and we're doing 5 or 6 of them, and then we'll move on. I've got like this week and next week, and we are done with 37. Woohoo! Number 30 is the first one I'm doing today. So where's number? I haven't read them, so I just go in and do it. Number 30. Do not wear camo on the islands. It's just a statement. It's not a question. And yes, now interesting this one actually because. It's not every island that it's banned. The main ones that I'm aware of that it's banned on for sure are Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, I think Barbuda, Antigua as well. So it's not every island. I think Trinidad and Tobago they're banned. But 2 things aside to that. Number 1, just don't wear camo in the Caribbean when you go out. Why would you? Why would you? And by the way, is it Caribbean or is it Caribbean? What do you say? In England, here's the thing. I've been here for so long now. I've been here since 1993. And that is the one word I can never remember which is the English way and which is the American way. I always get confused. Like, you know, obviously most words like garage or garage, I know the difference. We're garage, you're garage. You know, stuff like that. But Caribbean or Caribbean, I could never remember which is the American way and which is the English way. You can't even put that in the comments, you know. So yeah, so I'm just going to switch it up. I'm going to say Caribbean and then I'm going to say Caribbean. That way I'll be equally non-offending either side. Anyways, so yeah, so here's what we heard. We were recently on a tour in Barbados. We were on the Venezia. A group of us went ashore on a big tour, and the guide told us this story about why camo is actually banned in Barbados. The story you read everywhere online is that you're not allowed to wear military uniform, and that's what the military wear, right? Which makes total sense. He took it one step further, and in Barbados at least, this is what the tour guide said, not, you know, I'm just repeating what he said. There were some criminals, and what they would do is they would dress up in army uniform, in camo, and they would make a fake roadblock, and they would stop tourists going through, and they would hold them up at gunpoint and steal all their property, all their belongings, all their money and whatever. So that is why they banned camo, because people were imitating the military for criminal purposes to get that done. Again, I'm only going by what the tour guide said. It's kind of like when you're driving through Los Angeles and somebody says such and such a person lived in that house. How do you know? Oh, hello, he lived there. You don't know that. I could take you on a tour right now around this street, and I could tell you such and such lived in that house. You would never know. You would never know. Well, you could take the time to look it all up, but would you? Isn't it fantasy just so much better? So yeah, I'm just going by what the tour guide said. But yes, there is a rule on camo, and that is about it. All right, next one. Number 19. 19. Who sung that song? I like to ask these questions when these songs come out. 19. The average age in Vietnam is 19. If you know who sung that, put it in the comments. I know. It's English. Gentlemen. Not a band, individual name. See if you know. And see if you know another hit he had. Because quite frankly, I don't think there was one. One hit wonder. Anyway, what was that? 19. Oh, I forgot. I couldn't remember the number. I've just been saying 19. How do I book specialty nights and do they cost extra? I'm assuming by that you mean dining. So I don't think there's any other type of specialty night on board a ship. So with dining, yes, you can book them in advance on the carnival.com website. You can log into your cruise. If you haven't already done this, when you first book a cruise, and I know most of you watching this will go, oh, like I know that, but some people may not. First thing you do when you book a cruise, go to carnival.com, open up an account if you haven't done so already. Go into manage my booking, which will be on the top bar, and then it will say enter a booking number. You enter the booking number and your last name, and then your cruise will come up with all the things you can do. Now, depending on how far out you are, you won't be able to do everything immediately. Normally, most of the restaurants and the shore excursions won't populate until about a year or so before your cruise. Sometimes they're there sooner, sometimes they're not. But just assume everything's up there. You would click on the specialty dining link under your cruise, and it will show you all the restaurants you're available to book. I do strongly recommend you book them in advance. Don't wait until you get on board the ship, because if you do, the best times will likely be taken by the people that booked in advance, because when you book in advance, you can select the time you want to go. And obviously, 6:30, 7:30 are the most popular times people want to eat. 7:30, I would imagine, is the most popular. So those times will be gone, and chances are, even if it's not sold out when you get on board, you're going to have to eat like at 9 o'clock or 5:30 in the evening, not in the morning, in the evening. So not the best times. You can also use your onboard credit, if you have any, to pay at checkout. So when you put it in your cart, it won't show immediately, but as you go through the process of paying, a box will come up saying, ka-ching, you have onboard credit available. When you get to the final page, it will show you how much you have to put towards it, and you can decide if you want to use that for the onboard, for the payment of the meal. You can also add extra people on there now, which is a really good thing. If you have friends and family going and you want to book a table for 6, before you'd all have to book it individually and hope that they were linked up so you could sit together. Now you can go in on your own. I could go in and book for me and Julie, and underneath it's like, how many additional guests would you like to invite? So I would have like 4 more people, 6 more people, and I can invite them. So they could pay me separately, but then you'll all be on the same booking, and then you go from there. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so you can book that in advance. I recommend it strongly as opposed to doing it online. If you are on the Excel ships, they have cooking classes in the Carnival kitchen. The Excel ships, which is the Mardi Gras, the Jubilee, and the Celebration, and also on Panorama. That was the first one to do it, one of the Vista class ships. They have the cooking classes. Bear in mind this. You book them in advance on carnival.com. You don't have them on the hub. At least they don't as of now. So when you get on board the ship, you won't see them to book. You would have to go to Carnival Kitchen and see if they have any availability. So those I definitely would recommend booking in advance on the hub to ensure, because only about 12 to 14 people can do each class. So they do typically sell out. So they're the ones to do. All right. Oh, and the teppanyaki on those same ships as well. That tends to sell out before the cruise too. Number 12. Number 12. And we're doing 2 more after this. What happens if I get caught with edibles or weed or drugs? Well, you get in trouble. Here's how I understand it. And again, I'm going by this. Don't, if you think I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Well, the first thing is don't do it. Don't risk it. Carnival goes by federal law. I think it's federal law. It's some law. I believe it's federal law. They don't go by state laws. So they stick to this one law. And that law says no, no, no. So they're not allowing it, right? Whether you think it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You don't have the right to tell Carnival they're wrong. I can smoke weed in California. I can smoke weed in Florida. That means freedom, democracy, my rights say I can smoke on a cruise ship. No, you can't, because that's a state law. You're following federal law, right? As I understand it. So don't even risk it. If you do and you get caught, there's a minimum $500 fine. They could kick you off the ship at the next port, and then you are at your own expense to make your way back to your home. And that could be anywhere, right? Who knows where you'll be? You could be in some random island. You could be in some random country in the, Australia or whatever. You are on your own for getting back home. No financial assistance whatsoever. You've got to pay for everything, and you're bye-bye. Also, you may get banned for life from cruising with Carnival. Think about that. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. Just don't do it. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then the rest. Oh, hang on. How many have I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'll do 2 more. We'll make it a bit longer, because then I've got just enough for next week. This is number 6. What happens if I buy liquor from the carnival store? And I actually noticed underneath it says, what happens if I buy liquor at a port? So I'll do this as the combined question that will take one of those out for next week. So this will be the last one this week. So what happens if I buy liquor from the carnival store? What happens if I buy liquor at a port is basically the same answer. If you buy it from the carnival store, you're not going to give it to you there. They're going to bring it to your cabin on the last night of the cruise, typically. If you buy it ashore, when you get back on the ship, there'll be a desk at the back, a couple of stewards, liquor collection. There'll be a big sign up there. The security will tell you when they see you bringing it on to go to that table. Don't try and run past the table. They will catch you. You'll hand it in to them. Same thing. They'll make a note of it, your cabin number and all that good stuff. And then at the end of the cruise, they will bring it to your cabin on the last night. Now, I want to clarify that. That's typically what happens. Occasionally in the past, they've had a desk in the morning where you have to go and collect it. But leading back to my points earlier about the room steward, they are so short-staffed on embarkation day, they don't have the people to spare to do that because they need all hands on deck on embarkation day, which is now, from what I've seen, is always the night before it goes in your cabin. But they have done in the past where you've had to go and collect it the morning you get off from a certain spot. A year or so ago, not even a year, maybe, yeah, last year, we went on the Pride out of Tampa, just a little 4-day cruise. And we may or may not have had our steamer confiscated. Just hypothetically, we had a steamer confiscated. Hypothetically, that was only the second time it's been confiscated. And I know you're not supposed to take a steamer, but until they stop you taking hair curling irons on, I'm going to still try and take a steamer. I'm very careful with it, or allegedly, it's the same principle. Don't even try and explain that that's not the same, because it is. One's allowed, the other one should be allowed. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We got told that we could pick it up ashore on a table after we got off the ship. I happened to be walking past the Red Frog pub the morning we got off, and there it was sitting on a table with other stuff. So I was able to go in and get it. Had I not seen it, we wouldn't have ever got that because they wouldn't let me back on the ship to get it. Whether they did that because they were trying to pull a fast one on me because I allegedly smuggled on a steamer, I don't know. So don't quote me that 100% certain that it will get delivered to your room on the last night. Some ships might be different, but most of the time it is delivered to your room the last night of the cruise. Then by that time you can't even, you can't even do it. Can't even do it. I struggle to get my red stripes in on the last day. I'm not going to lie. All right, that's good. We'll finish the rest next week. One more week of these, and we are done with this list. But I still need yours. So if you have any tips or cruising traditions of your own, please send them to me. If you have any questions, my email is coming up at the end with and you can send the cruising tips and traditions to that email as well. If you want to subscribe, hit that little subscribe button, hit the bell, you'll get notifications when these amazingly wonderful videos come out. We try and do 3 a week. By the way, I should caveat, if you send me your tips, I don't read them in advance. Be aware. Try and catch me out. Good luck. I'm going to read it, and if you try and like be vulgar or rude, then I'll just get to the word and I'll change the word, and who's going to look silly then? I can catch you. One more week. I will see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.